All right, what's up, everybody? It is 30 degrees. I think it's cold as I don't know what, and the wind is blowing like crazy. So I'm probably not going to be out here that long today. But what I want to do today is um, fix this nonsense there, and I also want to remove the connectors there and clean them out and change the O-rings, and then I'm gonna put them back on. So not a whole lot today because it's so cold. Just trying to take my time, but I want to do that. And after I do that, if it doesn't take that long, I might change this pulley. I'm not going to do that one yet because I have to remove the water pump, and it might still be some coolant in there, and it's going to obviously get all over that, and I don't want that to happen to the new one. So I'm probably not going to film this next part. I'm just going to show you now what I'm doing. If I get to the pulley, I will film that so you can see how to go about removing that. But when it comes to the connectors, it's simply just take the clamp off, slide it down the hose, and then just slide it out. And that's pretty much it. All right, it's official now. I'm done taking everything I need to take off pertaining to the alternator. I still do have to take off the water pump and those two pulleys, but I mean, they're right there. I mean, you see the screws, you unscrew it, and you put a new one on. I mean, same for those. Pop the cap off, unscrew it, and you put another one on. That really, that should be easy. But this, all that is done. I got that crazy thing off. Look at this thing. Look at that. This is a crazy pipe. Got that off. I mean, everything is off. I'm officially in reverse now and putting everything back. Couldn't be happier. Look at this part, y'all. This is German engineering right here. This looked like we couldn't figure it out, so we just did something. So if you can see closely here, let's turn on the light. If you can see, look closely, the O-ring is on there. In order to get it off, you'll need a pick, like so. And basically what you're going to do is, just take this and pick it out almost like you're a dentist, right? And as you can see, this thing is not pliable at all, and it looks terrible. I'm going to go around so you can see how worn this O-ring is. And it's stuck right there. So there we are. And now the O-ring is off, and it's in really bad shape. So now we still have all this crud we need to get out of here. So I'm going to spray some brake cleaner on this. I'm going to get a wire brush and brush this off. I mean, we're basically becoming dentists for the moment. So we're going to get our wire brush, which is our toothbrush, and we're going to brush all this stuff off. But what I'm going to do is after I spray it with brake cleaner, wipe it down, use the toothbrush, use the wire brush, and then I'm going to use some coolant to lubricate it and then brush it again. And it'll be nice and shiny like the one that's already on the car. All right, and this is the final result. It's not perfect, but it's light years better than what it was. And you want to make sure, first of all, when you're doing these things, you're using gloves. It'll also be a good idea to get around in here in this cavity because there's quite a bit of crud buildup there. You're going to have maybe stains like this. I didn't bother really trying to get that off because, I mean, I don't want to score the metal any. I just try to just get all the surface stuff off. If the brush didn't get it off, I kind of left it as is. But looking a lot cleaner than it was. Want to make sure again that you go very meticulously through these cavities because it was a lot of rubber still stuck on the inside of there. The one I left on the car, I did the best I could, but I couldn't see 360 degrees all the way around it. But I did run the pick through it. This looks like it's a little more residue here. Yep, it was. Yep, just a bit. Don't scratch it up too much because you don't want to score it and change the makeup of the metal, because then the O-ring won't sit right and then it won't stop the fluid the way it's supposed to. All right, so I'm going to spray that again. And then finally, you want to, if you took this off and you sprayed it and you got, just in case, because you might have got some brake fluid or something on the inside, rinse this thoroughly with some distilled water. I have to flush. I also recommend you do that with the alternator, because if it's not brand new, and it was a reman like how mine was, you're going to have all types of little metal flakes in there. And you don't want that going through your system. So get an extra gallon of distilled water and, you know, flush everything out before you install it. All right, you guys, it actually warmed up. It's like 5:30 and it's warmer than it was earlier, which is weird. So I decided, I went and got some distilled water. Got 3 gallons, a little more than I needed. So I'm going to go ahead and flush this evening so I can be ready tomorrow. So we're just going to not fill it up, but pour a bit of water in here. Put the cap on so it doesn't get contaminated. And just pour it in the inlet here. Probably shouldn't do that near the alternator, huh? But let's pour it in that way and then pour it in the other way. And then that should be it. That's fine. So let's set this aside. As a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to go ahead and hook that back up to the car. Now, the alternator is important because they did not remanufacture it well. Let me see if I could show you. All right. If you look in there, let's turn the light on. You see all that debris in there? All that in there. So we don't want that going through the system. It's on both sides too. So we need to flush this out really well. Just pour it in one inlet, but we gotta be very careful not to get it inside the electronics. So all right, now it's coming out. So let's pour it out. Yeah, it was some big chunks in there. Wasn't a whole lot, but yeah, definitely quite a bit of debris. So let's do that a few more times, and then it'll be good. But tomorrow I can start putting stuff back on. There's way too much water. Other thing we need to do while you're looking is put the pulley on. It doesn't come with the pulley, and I need another triple square bit for that, so I can put that in there and then use a ratchet to get this nut off and then put the pulley on. And that should be here, those bits should be here tomorrow. Then I can handle this and the water pump and we'll be good. All right, before I ship this bad boy back to the dealership, you can see right here, all of that is coolant. Matter of fact, you can even see a little bit of it dripping out right there, that red coolant. So it was somehow leaking, probably back through here, back out of there, because the O-ring went bad. That's probably why this is discolored. This one looks like it was fine. It was coming out of this one and dripping down into there, getting all the electronics messed up and leaking through all the way through and coming out of there. So that was the problem. Brilliant design, but I mean, I guess it did last 100,000 miles. So I'm doing this and then talking about getting rid of it, but it'll be good, at least that issue, for quite some time. Anyway, I'm done for the night. I'm about to box this back up and ship it off to get my 175 back. I look like Mr. Bug-Eye Man. Anyway, today we are making some real strides towards finishing up this project. A lot of things have changed because some things have broken and I've needed to replace them. So, quick update on what's going on. So here is my old alternator all packaged up, ready to go. For those of you who don't know, in the Northeast region, it is year 17, and it is the year of Brood 9, which means pretty soon this beautiful sky will be full of cicadas, and these trees will be covered in cicada webs where they lay their eggs and they torment humans everywhere. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's time for that again. I remember the last time it happened, I was 20 years old. Anyway, so I was trying to get this done before the cicadas came because I had to have the garage door open. And I don't want to deal with those. I mean, seriously, if I had the garage door open right now, like, put it this way, towards the end of the cicada incidents in 2004, I like cracked my window. I had just drove up here from Atlanta in my 96 Impala. I cracked the window like that much, and a cicada just, as soon as I did it, just came, whoop, went in my shirt and went down, and I just got out, left my internship, it was ripped off my shirt. I almost crashed. Anyway, I'm not trying to deal with those. So I was trying to get this done, and they're going to come out once the temperature hits and is at a steady like 63 or 64 degrees. And from Tuesday to Saturday, it's going to be like in the mid to the high 60s, but it's going to drop back down. So hopefully they still stay in the ground. Anyway, so where we at today? I'm going to the plan is to change that water pump and to change that pulley there, and I'm going to actually start working on the alternator just to see what I could do. I'm gonna get my wife out here. She's cleaning up right now, so hopefully she come and help me. But I'm gonna get my wife out here to try to get her to connect all the stuff to the back of the alternator, and yeah, I'm gonna just start putting stuff back together. Now, one thing I was thinking about, now before I was saying that, oh, where is it? That this right here, this is the lower radiator hose, and this has held me up for a long time too. But I did end up finding this. I just took the number. Actually, I ended up finding it when I was looking for something else, and I did see a couple of dealerships that still sell it, and it's not that expensive. And I'm thinking, especially as you see this, I'm thinking maybe it might be a good idea to replace it. I mean, generally, when you replace radiators, you replace the hoses. So I'm thinking about doing that, and especially because I don't know what that is. What is that? Like, is this? I might have to play around with this melt, because I do have a leak somewhere. Yeah, I think I might just replace this before I even get started today. I think I'm just gonna go inside. I'm gonna see if I can take this off, or if that's actually the hose itself bubbling. If it's the hose itself bubbling, I'm just going to replace it. But I'm going to just try to see if I can scrape that off and see if it's something superficial that just melted on there. Definitely superficial. Okay, so that's superficial. Y'all know I don't feel like doing nothing else, but it is a leak coming from somewhere. And generally, when I replace this, I replace all the hoses, but usually it's just an upper and lower hose. This has a hose here, which looks perfectly fine. This hose which is actually a major component here. Is that going into the water pump? I don't know. Let's see. No, it's not. It goes into the tunnel there that leads to the thermostat. I'm not fooling with it. I'm not fooling with it. I'm just gonna put everything back. So anyway, let's get started. Now check this out. I ordered some a whole triple square set from Amazon 2 days ago. And I swear I looked through all my tools to see if I had any, and look what I found. A triple square set. So, and this is for impacts too. I suppose I'll just keep it. I've been doing quite a few returns to Amazon. I don't want them to ban me from using their platform behind $16. So to get the water pump off, you're going to actually use M6. So a triple square M6 bit. All right, so as I'm going here about to unloosen this thing, look what I see. That's stripped out. Now, obviously that's horrible. But if you take a step back and you just look at the water pump though, does it look as oxidized as the rest of the engine block? No, it does not. So what does that mean? Someone blessed me and already replaced it. You know what? I have all the service records too. I can get them anyway. I had access to them. The car had so much replaced that was one of the exciting things about buying it. The dude that owned it before lived in Virginia, and well, no, the last dude, I think he lived in Minnesota. All right, but the guy before him, it's funny when I called the dealership to try to get the records, they were like, "Oh, this is Jim's old car," whatever his name was. I don't remember. But anyway, he like owned the dealership or something. So he had a warranty. This thing had a warranty on it until, let me do this. This thing had a warranty on it until 2017. And right in 2017, it had the transmission replaced. All this came out. And so, the dude replaced everything. So, yeah, well, I don't have to do that. I kind of just wish, though, that I knew that before tackling this. Hopefully, Burlington Volkswagen will be generous and kind and give me all my money back, because that mug was $227. All right, so now, yeah, we're not going to do the water pump. It was done not that long ago. All right, so cool. All right, now I guess it's on to the pulleys. So I really ordered that hex set, like really for super no reason. I mean, goodness gracious. All right, so let's go ahead and work on these. We're going to take our little pry bar here. We're going to, let me make sure y'all can see this. All right, so we're going to take our pry bar here, and we're going to pop this little cover off. Okay, now I'm going to take the pry bar. I got a better tool for this. All right, we're going to use a pick, and we're going to use the hook pick to get that off. So it has little grooves. There we go. So to get the pulleys off, you're looking at a T50 Torx bit, my bad. And you know what? Those pulleys actually look really new. I knew they did. So somebody replaced those too. They did the water pump. They certainly did the pulleys, but I mean, whatever. I got some. So